And as you can see, Adrienne is in Beijing and will continue to be there throughout the Olympics as she was back in 2008. And the world has certainly changed since then. Let's talk about today, though, Adrienne. And hello, by the way. What's coming up this week inside the famous Bird's Nest Stadium that's behind you?
Well, you're right. The Bird's Nest is where the opening ceremony was in 2008. It is where it will be again. It looks extraordinarily empty here now. That's not a trick of a camera angle or the hour. We're inside in the closed loop Olympic system. On the outside, past barricades and fences and electronic surveillance, is the outside world of Beijing. And out there, there is a bit of heartache that has nothing to do with the Olympics. That's because this is the most special time of year here. We're on the eve of Lunar New Year. Typically, people talk about it as the biggest annual migration in the world, more than 1 billion people on the move. Not now, though. Given when COVID first hit China, this marks the 3rd year of the festival being totally disrupted. People are traveling, but far fewer of them. And increasingly, more cities in China are getting entirely locked down again. These are pictures of Guangzhou, shot this weekend. It's a city of 12 million, with significant parts of it shuttered because of just 59 Omicron cases. People can't leave their homes. Food is being brought to them. Now, here in Beijing, we have a local colleague working exclusively on the other side of the closed loop, watching the city get ready to welcome the Year of the Tiger and talking to people about how they're feeling, including Yuan Zhouhui, who is not intending to go home.
If the cases in Beijing eventually go down to 0, I will consider traveling back home. After working for a whole year, I do feel homesick.
Interesting point he made there about getting COVID cases to 0. There's some pride in that policy, despite how tough the measures are and despite the fact China still isn't there. The National Health Commission reported 20 new cases in this city on Sunday. That sounds unfathomably low to people in Canada, but that's actually the highest official COVID count here since June of 2020. Not what the Chinese government wants to see right now. So those numbers, Ian, don't include any of the positive tests here within the closed loop system. Right now, we're looking at a few dozen amongst athletes and officials, more than 100 amongst other people who are working on the Olympics. For all those people, it means isolation until there are 2 negative tests. So if you're an athlete and this is your dream, that is your nightmare.
And Adrienne, what about the Canadians? Any update there?
Most of the Canadians are now on the ground. Few more left to come. We've been watching the numbers. We know that as of a few days ago, at least 5 people from the Canadian contingent were in what they call COVID protocols, including a short track speed skater who has now been cleared for competing. So that's some good news. But the reality is, Ian, that those numbers are likely to change a bit.
Okay. Adrienne, thank you.
You bet.